Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to be doing something that I've been excited about for a while, and that is installing a Process West intercooler. There it is. I'll do a little unboxing for you guys. We'll lay all the parts out so you can see what's in the box. I got the black one to replace that old crappy thin plastic intercooler that's in there. But so far I've got this, I've got a 3-port boost controller and spark plugs to do before we jump into getting the Torque Performance Stage 3 tune, which I'm excited about because the car has a Cobb OTS tune on it right now, and it's really not running that good. It's running hair lean, so I'm not driving it. And I need to put a new O2 sensor in there, which I've got one on order because I kind of destroyed the last one trying to get it out of the old crusty downpipe. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this unboxed, and then we'll get the old intercooler pulled out of there. All right, guys, here is everything that comes in the box. First, we've got the different air duct to come out of the hood scoop to angle it down more into the intercooler because this is a different pitch. You've got all your boots here. You've got all different hose clamps, these 2 brackets, hardware, a bracket, and an inlet there. And then here's the big boy intercooler. It says Process West on the top. Also, it comes with stickers. I already used one, a sticker, and instructions. So we'll go ahead and jump into it and start following these instructions and pull out all that and pull out the intercooler. Let's get into it. All right, guys, to remove your factory intercooler, first thing you gotta do is remove this bolt up here. And then we're going to take a pair of pliers and unhook this boot, and then take a flathead screwdriver and loosen up the lower boot. Also, pull off this vacuum line. Come over here, there's 2 more 12mm bolts over here going into your turbo. Take those 2 out. Be careful because due to heat, they can be a little crusty. All right, now you should be able to pull this up and out. Now I'll go ahead and pull our factory bypass valve off, which I do have a nice Grimspeed one coming. However, I guess they're limited on parts and it's taking a little while to get those in. I ordered it about 3 weeks ago. Fact about those is you do not need a tune to install a new bypass valve. A blow-off valve you do, but not a bypass valve. There is your bypass valve. All right guys, now we have to figure out how to remove all of that insulation and your hood scoop. Okay guys, I actually did that completely wrong. I should have just taken these out, not all those clips. Which freaking sucks on my part, but oh well, don't be like me. Okay guys, now we're gonna pop this rubber piece off of this piece here. Not entirely sure how. Okay, I somewhat destroyed that. A lot of these tabs broke off. I'm not trying to save it, but if you're trying to save it, I would just be more careful and try to wedge each of these little rubber things out one by one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and clip all these back in, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clip these back in here, just because we weren't supposed to pull them out. I will link this down in the description for you. It's a kit full of those plastic clips. Okay, we're going to use the M6 Phillips head screws with the M6 flange nuts. This goes like that. And it looks like two of these go here. Put those nuts on. I'll show you guys this afterwards, but then there's two on the front side here. Let me show this to you guys. So you've got the two bolts there, and then you come down and you can see the two right there. Now we're gonna put this back up in the car. Okay guys, just want to show you this. It says to trim your hood insulation or whatever it is piece like this. So I went ahead and cut that corner off. You'll see it when I'm putting it up. All right, there's that. Okay guys, we have a little plug down here. I'll try to show it to you. Supposedly, you can just wiggle that out. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. But supposedly you can wiggle it out. And I am gonna go ahead and remove this bracket here to get it out of my way. I'm pretty sure that that needs removed. If you come down to your reservoir here, you can see I'm in the light, but you can see that plug right there I'm focused on. It was on this side. All I did was come in with a pair of pliers right there, grab it real good, and pull it out. And then slide it back into the same pocket over there. So the next thing we're doing is we're taking this elbow, and it's got an O-ring on it, and we're gonna install it with the factory bolts onto your turbo. Now, I have this air oil separator that is completely in the way, which sucks. So I'm hoping I can cut my zip ties and move everything around enough so that it's not doing that. All right, guys, let me show you what I'm dealing with here. First step did not go as planned, but they tell you to install this elbow here, that elbow right onto your turbo where your old intercooler mounted to. So I have an air oil separator, so I've got these freaking hoses that I gotta work around. All the hoses aren't bad, but you see this right here, it was going underneath of this, which you can see that it can't really turn down and go underneath that because there's no room. So I guess what I have to do is get a hose that comes up out of that and over this tube and then back down into my air oil separator. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed with the installation and just ignore that hose for now. Now take this and install it right where that other bracket was. Now we're going to our intercooler, and we're going to take these two brackets here, and we're going to install them onto here. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is remove a bell housing bolt from the transmission. So you've got your top mount, or your pitch stop mount right there. Hold on, let me get a good angle here. So there's a bolt right under that, you see that right there? We're going to be taking that bolt out. All right guys, now we're gonna take this and install it just like this back where your old throttle body was, or your throttle body is. Go ahead and put this other hose clamp on your throttle body inlet. Just slip it on there. And we're taking our heavy intercooler here. All right, let's take our factory bolt to the transmission bell housing here. Focus that. And put that back in. Okay guys, now we're gonna use this factory bolt here and one of the supplied nuts. We did get that bolt in the transmission down there. It's 90% tightened. Don't tighten it all the way so you can still move this around. But you want to get this bolt in here and then take your nut and put it on. Once you get this bolt on, you want to go back through and tighten all the intercooler bolts. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 over there, your intercooler one. So let's go ahead and get this tightened. Now we're going to take our bypass valve hose and install it. Alright guys, last thing we need to do is reconnect our bypass valve vacuum line right here. Alright, let me give you guys a quick recap here. So, here's the finished product. One thing I still need to do is connect this hose down to a port right here. Sorry. Connect this AOS hose down to a port down there. I need to get a longer hose and route that down. So it is a tighter fit with your AOS. But anyway, that port goes down to your new aluminum fitting onto your turbo right there. You've got one turbo mount bracket. It's dark, I know, but underneath down there, which is a pain to get to. Then you've got your factory bypass valve hose going into that, and then your new bypass valve hose coming into the other side, which goes back there. Don't forget to route your factory bypass valve line, vacuum line down there. Okay guys, so that's the install. My biggest issue I ran into was my AOS lines. Plan on rerouting those. If one of your hoses is long enough, you won't have to, but I routed them in the beginning super tight, so it was clean, you know? Well, that kind of screwed me on this. Didn't think it would, but it did, because the one fitting coming out of the turbo is pretty tight. It's a tight fit, and there's really no room for anything under it. So keep that in mind. But Overall difficulty, honestly, it was more difficult than I thought it'd be, just because there's a lot of tight spaces you gotta get your hands down into, and I got big hands, so it is kind of a pain. But other than that, it looks fantastic. It's gonna function fantastic, and I'm looking very, very forward to making use of it coming in the near future after we get all our other parts on. So I hope I could help you guys. I hope I could walk you through this. I hope I helped some of you guys with the AOS too, because I couldn't really find guys installing this with the AOS in the way as well. But yeah, so I did have to take my factory or my wiring harness plug and bend it down as far as it could go, the bracket for it, because it was in the way. It definitely makes things a tighter fit. Keep that in mind. So, next install I think is going to be the boost controller. And then we're going to go ahead and get the tune on it so I can drive it. But we do still have to do one spark plugs. And I do still need to put an O2 sensor in it because I destroyed the downstream O2 sensor when I was doing the downpipe. Whew! Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Help me out a little bit. Help me grow. See you later.